What's up, my dudes? I'm Valkyr. Today I'm going to be doing Polearm review. And we're going to go over all the polearms currently available because it's probably the most asked questions I get. So I'm going to first start off with the one that I get asked the most about. And I don't think it's a good option, but I'm going to go over it anyways. Dragon Spine Spear. I can't pull it up on screen, obviously. It's not in the game. But we'll go along. I will go along with the character archive. Or not character archive, excuse me. We'll go along with the weapon archive. And we'll go one by one and talk about all the polearms. So, let me go here. We'll just go one by one. It's not in the game yet, so we're not going to bring this one up. But we're going to go one by one, talk about the polearms, and talk about what they do. So, Dragon Spine Spear. It has fizz damage % as a substat, useless for Xiao. Hitting an opponent with normal charge attacks has a 60% chance of forming and dropping an Everfrost Icicle above them, dealing 80% AoE attack damage. Opponents affected by Cryo and are dealt 200 attack damage, can only occur once every 10 seconds. Once every 10 seconds. Absolutely useless passive for Xiao. I highly do not recommend this at all, because I know that's what people ask me the most. So, let's go ahead and go on. Next polearm. Alright, next polearm is Royal Spear. It has attack % as a substat. Upon damaging an enemy, increases crit rate by 8% max 5 stacks. A crit hit removes all stacks. At refinement 5, it goes to 16%, so 80%. So you can avoid all crit rate. So, let me be extremely clear. This weapon right here, Royal Spear, is good. It is, but you need to bring Xingqiu 100%, and Xingqiu does not activate with spam. So is it good with slam spam? No. Is it a good weapon at refinement 5? Yes. For normal attacks, and Xingqiu lets you completely bypass the need to build any crit whatsoever, and you can focus purely on crit damage. So yes, it is a good weapon for Xiao at refinement 5. And this weapon you can only get from the Star Glitter shop, so keep that in mind. Alright, so on to the next one. Next Spear. What's the next one we got? We have Favonius Lance. Energy recharge. Crit rates have... You guys know what Favonius does. Crit rates have a small chance, or a 60% chance, to generate a small amount of elemental particles. Can only occur once every 12 to 6 seconds. Higher the refinement, it makes it more likely. No. This is mostly a support weapon. I cannot recommend this. I just know. Just going to very quickly go over that. So next one. This one's not in the game. We're going to skip past this one. Next one. Next Spear. Deathmatch. Woo! Deathmatch! Probably want to get asked about the most. Deathmatch. Woo! So Deathmatch, what it does, gives you crit rate. Crit rate goes up to 36.8%. One of the highest crit rate substat weapons in the game. But you suffer a lot in the base attack. The base attack is lower than the rest. Now, at minimum refinement, if there are at least 2 enemies nearby, attack is increased by 16%, and defense is increased by 16%. If there are less than 2 enemies nearby, attack is increased by 24%. And now if it's refinement 5, just double that. 32%, 32%, and if it's less than 2 enemies, 48%. Do I recommend this? Yes, absolutely. This is a very good weapon, especially at refinement 5, if you're just refining into it with your battle passes. It's going to let you deal a lot of damage. It's going to let you increase your attack by 48%. It's also going to let you run a crit damage helm, just like the Royal Spear, except you don't need it at refinement 5 to run a crit damage helm. You could run it at refinement 1. So it's going to give you a 62% increase throughout a crit damage helm, because you'll get to stack more crit damage. Very good. All right, next Spear. Next Spear, Prototype Grudge. Energy recharge. 10% energy recharge at level 1. It goes all the way up to, I believe, 48% off the top of my head. This site doesn't tell me. So after using an elemental skill, increases normal and charge attack damage by 8% for 12 seconds. Goes up to 16%. Is this a good free-to-play option? Yes. Both Crescent Pike and Prototype Grudge are good free-to-play options. This one is good simply because it lets you keep your ult time up faster. Lets you get your ult up, and you have more consistent damage because you have all the energy recharge from Prototype Grudge to keep your ult up. So it is good in that aspect. Alright, let's go to the next one. Next Spear. Dragon's Bane. No. Next Spear. Why not Dragon's Bane? It gives him literally nothing he wants. Blackcliff Pole. Blackcliff Pole, it gives you crit damage as a substat, very good. After defeating an enemy, attack is increased by 12% for 30 seconds. This effect has a maximum of 3 stacks. And at max refinement, that turns to 24%, 3 stacks, which is 48, 72%, increases attack by 72% at max stacks, at max refinement. This is, once again, just like Royal Spear, this is a Paimon shop weapon. So this weapon, it's going to take you a long time to max out to Refinement 5. But this has, out of all the 4-star weapons, this has the highest potential DPS. So keep that in mind. It is a very hard-hitting weapon and has the highest potential DPS. If that interests you, then go for it. You can make what I call a Showcase Xiao. Showcase Xiao is a Xiao that's not very consistent, but whenever he pops off, man, does he look good. So, next spear. Crescent Pike, the biggest question. Crescent Pike is a very, very good weapon. Physical damage bonus 7.5% at level 1. It goes all the way up to whatever. Physical damage bonus, once again, pretty much useless on Xiao. We're just going to talk about... Now, we're going to talk about Refinement 1. After picking up an elemental orb / particle, normal and charge attacks deal an additional 20% attack as damage for 5%. He's going to be picking up a lot of elemental orbs. And it doubles to 40%. So why would you pick Grudge over Pike? Well, Pike is physical damage, and you're going to be building mostly your Nemo damage, so you're not able to double dip into the stats like other main spear users, other main polearm DPSs. You're not going to be able to double dip and really boost up the extra damage Crescent Pike does, but the extra hits are still going to proc. Overall, if you already have this invested in, go ahead and use it. It's a very good option, very good free-to-play option. I think it gives you a little bit more damage than Grudge because, like I said, you're not double-dipping the stats, so it's not as OP as it is on like Zhongli or Xingling, but it is still a very strong weapon regardless because this weapon has one of the most broken passes of any of the free-to-play weapons. Next spear. Okay, let's see the next spear we got. Vortex Vanquisher. We going down to the 5-star spears now, baby. Okay, so substat is attack percent. Increases shield strength by 20%. Absolutely useless on Xiao. Attack by 4% for 8 seconds. Max stacks. So 20%, and it doubles at 40% at max refinement. We're all protected by a shield. This attack effect increase. This attack increase effect is increased by 100%. So it goes up to 80% more attack. If you have a good shielder, I don't know exactly if it applies. If you have a good shielder to put on him, then this is a very good weapon. This is a very high attack weapon that you can do. You don't need it, but if you happen to get it and you got it, let's say you got it Refinement 5, thinking Zhongli is going to be an absolute boss. You can throw it on Xiao. You don't need to get a Primordial Jade Spear, but you can throw it on Xiao. So, let me get the next one lined up. Next spear. My baby. My spear. Why do I like this spear so much? Energy recharge substat goes up to 34.8%, I believe. I'll have to check. You can check whenever you do that. I'm probably wrong on that because I'm going off the top of my head. And this is a long passive. Increases crit rate by 8%. Increases normal attack speed by 12%. Chef's kiss, normal attack speed. Additionally, normal and charge attacks hits on enemies have a 50% chance to trigger a vacuum blade that deals 40% of attack damage in a small AoE. This effect cannot occur more than 2 seconds. Refinement 5 just doubles the crit rate to 16% and doubles the and makes the vacuum blade all the way up to 100%. Refinement 5 is very, very strong. I plan on Refinement 5ing this weapon eventually. Who knows when? But I plan on trying to Refinement 5 this weapon eventually. Very, very, very strong weapon for normal attack Xiao. If you're going to be building the normal attacks, the 12% attack speed really makes up for all the loss in like offensive stats that you're doing, and the additional hit really helps out. But reminder, the additional hit does deal physical damage, so it's not going to scale with your Nemo damage. Keep that in mind, so you're going to be losing some DPS in that regards. But the additional attack speed is going to be just kiss beautiful. And then the signature weapon, last spear. Primordial Jade Wing Spear. Crit rate. We all know crit rate sub on hit increases attack by 3.2% for 6 seconds, max 7 stacks. This effect can only occur once every 0.3 seconds. While in position of the max stacks, damage dealt is increased by 12%. And then at max refinement, that 3.2% turns to 6%, and the damage dealt increase is turned to 24%. This is the highest potential DPS weapon you can have on Xiao. If you just want to be slam spamming and be dealing big dick damage, this is your go-to weapon. This is the highest damage weapon you can have on Xiao. But you have to make sure, like I said, you have to remember that he's going to have energy recharge in his substats and all sorts of other stuff. Anyways, this is my video covering every spear in the game for you guys currently. Odds are there will be more coming out. If you guys have any questions, I'll be live about 30 minutes after this video goes live. You can feel free to ask me there. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today.